Now, some of you say, well, Dustin, we've got too many lawyers, and I'll be the first to tell you, yes, we've got a lot of them, and I don't like most of them. But there's always room for good people, and there's always room for good lawyers to fight a good fight and to do what's right. I liken it to politicians. We can all sit here and talk about politicians, but I'm proud that you call Tom Coburn my politician. I'm proud of him. And I'm proud that we have some white-cap politicians to stand up and fight for us. And I'm proud to tell you as a lawyer, in the last 10 years, I've not filed not one workers' compensation claim. I've been a small-town lawyer. I've been reading abstracts. If any of you ever bought any land and you had to have an abstract read, I'm proud to be that kind of person. I'm proud to go to the grocery store. My neighbor asked me, Dustin, I've got a legal question. Can you help me? I've devoted my life to that. And I do believe I have something I could offer in the halls of Congress if you were to help me get into the race and help me go to Washington. Our government is growing at a rapid clip. We have lots of issues. We have lots of problems. There's 435 members of the House of Representatives. 218 are a majority. Now think about that. It takes 218 votes in the House of Representatives for a bill to pass. We need people that understand this document. I've carried this with me from the day I walked into law school, and I've read it cover to cover many times. I've thumbed it. You can see I've kind of pointed out. Our country's gotten away from this document. 35 of our 55 founding fathers were lawyers, and they wrote this document. And I think we need to go back and study what they meant for our country to be and what this document still means today. Folks, this document hasn't changed. The Second Amendment means what it did years ago, still today. It hasn't changed, regardless of what the liberals might tell us. Now I want to direct your attention to Article 1, Section 8. This is the duties of Congress: to regulate commerce with foreign nations among the several states and to borrow money on the credit of the United States. That's Congress. That's the job of Congress to borrow money. It doesn't say in here, President of the United States can borrow money. He has no authority to do it. The only way we can borrow money according to this document is if 218 members of the House of Representatives vote to do it. Now think about that. What did Mitch McConnell say Monday? He said, Mr. President, I'll let you borrow the money, but you have to take the blame. That's what our Republican leaders said. I about fell out of my chair.
We can take the blame.
How can you delegate your authority to the president when you can't delegate your authority? That's your vote. It's not the president's. We need members of Congress that will stand up for what the Constitution says and will go into that body and vote. Now what can we do about it here? We only have one vote. This district goes from the Texas border to the Kansas border. There's 26 counties. If you have concerns about our federal government the way that I do, the best thing that you can do is start in your congressional seat. We only have one vote. That vote right now is Dan Boren. The first, and I'm not running against Dan, and I'm not here to put him down, but the first vote he passed every year, and we've done it 4 times now with Dan Boren, he's voted to make Nancy Pelosi the leader of that body. I can't get past that vote. Nothing else matters after that point. I believe when Congress adjourns January 2013, we're going to go in and vote the very first vote to elect a conservative to lead that body. And I believe that's one of the most important votes that we'll make. But what I would ask of you as you look at this race, if you are frustrated with your government, if you believe our government is out of control, do you have the commitment to change it? I know that you do, or you wouldn't be here today. Nicole and I have been looking at this race for some 6 weeks now, and I want to tell you, it is a big, big commitment. I know Wayne's looking at the race too, and others are as well. We need to elect a good nominee because this district is still 80% Democrat. It's going to take Democrat votes to win in November. We can elect whoever we want to, but unless we're thinking in November, it doesn't matter. We've got to elect a strong nominee that can get votes in November of 2012. Secondly, we need commitment. We all are frustrated with our government, but how frustrated are we? What commitment are you willing to make a change? The only thing you can do is have an influence in your own congressional seat. You can't influence what happens in California, Lonnie. You can't influence what happens in New York. This is it. This is all you've got. And this is where our focus should be. So I have not announced yet that I'm running for Congress, but I'm getting really close to making a decision. I wanted to come up here tonight and listen to you, and I wanted you to hear my thoughts and my concerns about our country. That's what I wanted to hear, and I want you to think, Dustin, either you are or you're not the type of person we'll help. But if you are, we're willing to help you. This race will cost at least $1 million, and I don't have $1 million. Are we committed enough and frustrated enough with this government that we will dig deep into our pockets and help someone from Main Street, someone that otherwise has no chance to run and win? The other day we were in Hugo and Mark Costello gave a talk. He gives a great talk. If you haven't had him on it, you need to have him on it. Well, he probably brought you some of these in. You know what this is? And he ran these up here. This is a true Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe note. It's a real piece of currency from Zimbabwe, Africa. $50 trillion. That's what that says. But this is not funny money. It's real.
Obama money.
We were in a recession when Obama came into office. Charts were going down. He said, dump a couple trillion in of people's money, and the chart will go up. I told my wife, I said, it'll cause a double dip. Why will it cause a double dip inflation? A double dip recession? Because of inflation. Congress has been printing money as fast as the machines will print ever since Obama took office. Okay? We're printing money that we don't have. It's causing inflation. Now we're entering into the second dip, and inflation is going to skyrocket. This happened in Zimbabwe. Can you imagine having to carry on a $50 trillion note? Only the government needs these types of notes.
You know where else that happened?
Other countries.
Nazi Germany.
Nazi Germany.
The Weimar Republic. Before the Nazis.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what
The
caused
Weimar Republic, they have films of people going down the street with wheelbarrows.
That was my next question. How many of you don't think it can happen in America that you don't have to take a wheelbarrow full of dollar bills down to buy a loaf of bread? Folks, we're not immune from the problems that the other parts of the world have faced if we go down the road that we're going. We've got to stand up and prevent this from happening. The best thing that we can do is start with our congressional seat. Elect someone that will go to Washington and not go to the party line. We don't need a Republican in Washington. We need a conservative in Washington for this district. We need someone that says, will you vote for the bailout? Our delegation 2 years ago voted for the bailout. I was astounded. They said, but they called us in and told us we'll be in the Great Depression. I said, we're going to be in it quicker if you vote for it. When the party leaders call, we need a conservative that will stand the test of conservatism. But folks, I've been a conservative my whole life. In fact, in third grade on the playground, I argued in favor of electing Ronald Reagan in 1984. I knew I was a conservative before I knew what one was. But I'm concerned about our country. I love our country. And I want to say that I don't think that we're too far gone. I think if the people of rural America will stand up and help fight, this country can be saved. It's not going to be hard, and it's going to hurt. And when I talk about the commitment to the race, and the commitment's great, folks, this race will be harder than any of us can imagine. But the commitment that it's going to take to save our country is going to be greater. We're all going to have to take that. Everybody. But I believe that we will. I want to say God bless you and thank you for having me, Lonnie. I appreciate you all letting me come up and talk to you.
Thank you.